Assalamu alaikum friends. So today I'm gonna teach you how to set up a path for localhost file. For example, if I write here localhost, as you can see, the file is loaded correctly. This is my HTML file. So we will be using lamp for this purpose. So you can use terminal, and also you can use GUI. So first I will show you how to use terminal for this purpose. So first go to root directory. With this we will go to root, and inside the root we will go to variable directory, and into variable directory we will go to www, as you can see, and inside www we have HTML folder. So we will go to HTML, and here you can see the index.html file. So by default, when you write localhost on this, this index.html file will be loaded. So here you can see index. We have other files too, temp.php, but with the name index, it will automatically load the file with the name index. So what if I delete this index.html? So let's delete it. Index.html. The sudo is important because you are working in the root directory. So let's delete this index.html file, and you can see index is now removed. So if you run this again, now we will get some errors. So therefore index.html file will be loaded automatically. So let's create again index.php file. So we will creating sudo gedit. Let's create it with gedit index.php. Index.php is created now. Now let's write some PHP code. PHP echo index file always load automatically, and let's save this file and remove this. Now you can see when you load it, index file always load automatically. This file is loaded. So now if I want to load other files which are present in these directories, so inside the HTML directory we have index.php, but it will by default load index.php file. So what if I want to load other files? So for this we will make directory with lab. So first let's remove this directory lab. This file directory is not empty, so sudo, let's remove this. Now we can see if I want to load other files, now let's make another directory with the name of, so sudo is important because you are working in root directory. So mkdir is for directory. Let's make a directory of lab, for example. So this directory is created now, as you can see. Now cd lab, and this is empty. Now make a file inside this directory of, let's suppose I am making a file of, so sudo touch. You can make a file with empty file with touch command. So let's make a file of let's file one dot php. Let's make a file of HTML this time. PHP, HTML, all files will be loaded if you set the path. So this is not index.php, and it is not in the HTML folder. These 2 points are important. If you are in HTML folder and you have index.php, it will be loaded when you use localhost automatically. So if I want to load another file, Now I have made a directory of lab, and I am making another file of file1.html inside this lab. So for this I will mention a path if I want to load this, because this is not index, because by default this file will be loaded, and I want to load this file which is present in this lab directory. So let's make this file sudo touch file1.html. So this file is made. Now edit it. Now let's edit it with file1.html. Sorry, gedit. It is an editor which will allow you to edit the file. So sudo is important, as I mentioned several times. So let's edit it with, so this is HTML file. Let's make some HTML code into this file. So HTML, so let's the body, and ending body tag. Oh my god. So let's head, this is for heading, and this is the file with path. So this is a file with path, this is the content of file, and let's save it. And if you load the file, as I have mentioned that by default index.html index file will be loaded. So as you can see, the index.php file is loaded. So this file is present in HTML lab. As you can see, file1.html, it is present in the lab directory. So index.php is present in HTML. So by default it will access the index file. So for loading this file, I have to give a path of lab and file1.html. So as you can see, now give a path of lab file1.html. So here I mentioned a path of lab file1.html. As you can see, this file, this is the file with path. Now content, this file is loaded correctly, as you can see. And you can make other files in this directory or make another directories. Then you have to mention the path for that directory. By default index file will be loaded, which is present in HTML folder. So these are some basics for this. So some people have issues for editing the file with the help of Visual Studio. Now we have done this with the terminal. Now let's go to graphical user interface. So this is the other locations to go to root and computer. Here we are in variable. As I mentioned that www folder, inside this w we have HTML folder, and here you can see index. So by default when you write localhost, this file will be loaded. So for loading other files, I have made another directory of lab, and I loaded this by giving a path of this. As you can see, lab file1.html, and this file is loaded correctly. So if I want to change the content of this file with the help of Visual Studio, so for this I have to run Visual Studio with the root. So by default Visual Studio run as a do not run as root. So for this, let's open terminal in this folder. If I want to run this, open the terminal in this folder, open terminal, and this is the command of running Visual Studio inside the root directory. So this is the command. So copy this command. I will upload it in the description. So code user-data vscode index. So this is the file name, file1.html. So now let's say I am editing this file with the help of Visual Studio. So this is the command of editing it. Now it will ask for a password. Now Visual Studio is opened correctly. So I want to change the content of this file. So the content of the file has been changed with VS Code. So by default it will not save. So let's go to this. You can also use, so let's go to file, and here you will see auto save. So just use this auto save option and it will automatically save the content of the Visual Studio. So if you are not you have not run Visual Studio as root, then you are not you will be not allowed to save this file. So therefore I run the Visual Studio as root. So the file is saved. Now let's run this file. In this, the content of the file has been changed with Visual Studio Code. This file is loaded correctly again. So these are some basics. So inshallah we will meet in another lecture. If you have any issues, you can ask me in the comment. So let's stop the recording.